Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the Bagmen podcast. We're on episode 9. We got a special guest today.
A very special guest.
Yeah, very special.
Very.
Yeah, special needs, some would
I
say.
see what you did there.
All right, we're in the rewind section. Stock, how was your weekend post-holiday slumber?
It was extremely non-eventful, which was good because when I went home last Monday, which was Halloween, I found this huge leak in my basement. The fix-it guys, they got it fixed the next day, and it was just not what I was expecting to deal with.
Did you do what you told me you were going to do, is just dial a bunch of them?
Yes.
And then see who showed up first?
I dialed 4, and whoever called me back first, they got it.
Oh, that's great. That is great. Grumpy old man lower third down here,
Yep,
Stock.
grumpy old man. I didn't
anything
do a
else
thing.
eventful?
I didn't do a thing school-related over the weekend. Instead, I did laundry, dishes, and I made a very delicious bowl of soup. I found a new cooking channel on YouTube. It's a guy who does a lot of Italian stuff, and this was kind of like an Italian ham and beans. But,
Ooh,
yeah.
okay.
I'll talk about it more when I do my rant, because I'm going to rant about ingredients available in Danville.
Okay. Dude, ingredients available anywhere.
Yeah.
Store shelves were barren when I went shopping over the weekend. The gas stations were closed in Illinois.
Really?
Yeah, they had bags on most of the spouts, nozzles, wherever you call them.
Huh.
Kind of crazy.
Yeah.
And high prices as well. You know
Yeah.
how it goes. I thought you were going to cast aspersions to the ham and bean dinner for the firefighters.
Oh.
Did you get to go down to that?
No, I didn't. I forgot about that.
Oh, my goodness, dude. They made the best spread.
I love a good ham and bean.
I couldn't stay, right? I couldn't eat down there and enjoy the fellowship with everybody, but they gave you a to-go bag.
Mm-hmm.
So you get soup beans, you get as many cornbreads as you wanted to take, you get a dessert.
So how many cornbreads did you take?
More than one. And they gave you a hot dog. Didn't even ask. So I got out to the car, I opened up this gigantic paper bag.
And there's a hot dog.
Hot dog and ham and beans. It was a great meal.
Yeah.
They put on a great spread. A good time. So
My
a very good
grandmother told
chance.
me the secret for good ham and beans. Do you want to know what it is?
Yeah.
Put a tablespoon of molasses in it.
Just a tablespoon of molasses makes the ham and beans go down. That's lovely.
Hey, grandparents always know.
Hey, the older generation knows stuff we don't know.
That's true.
That is true. They know a lot of stuff that's been lost to the ages.
Yep.
I'm Mr. Sowers. I'm the other one. The other one is the Dean of Students. His TikTok is at that one mean Dean. Check him out. Stock and I are on there occasionally. Stock more than I.
I think 3 times maybe.
So twice more than I. But he gets busy. So we get updates whenever we get updates.
Yeah.
It's kind of the way things roll here.
Yeah.
Small school. Everybody wears different hats, you know.
About 5 different every day.
Exactly. Speaking of different hats, the yearbook is now for sale. Started on November 1st. November 1st, November 1st, $45 a book until December 31st. After that, there'll be $50 a book. You can go to yearbookforever.com, or you can see me or the office for an order form if you're a paper person.
I know that the modern generation is more technology and everything's online and in the cloud and all of this. But it's really fun to have a yearbook. I'm talking slowly because of this. The sound of my
Welcome
ear.
to my world, Stock. Yeah.
I have to take this off. Okay.
That didn't last long.
It didn't last. But to sit down with a physical yearbook and flip through the pages, when you get to be our age, that's something you enjoy. That's looking back at those memories and at all the events and who was prom queen and who went
Yeah.
to who went with whom to prom. It's good to have that as a book.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
would encourage everyone, go buy a yearbook.
And Mrs. G always told me when I took over the yearbook position that you're not just making a book for that year, you're making a historical journal. You're making a
Oh, that's
historical
good.
book. So
That's true.
later on, you go back, you want to see who taught certain things. You want to
Yeah.
see who played on certain teams, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That's why it's important to label as much as possible and kind of do it that way. We were going through the yearbooks. I don't know if I've mentioned this on air before, but back in the shelving unit back there is the archive of the old yearbooks.
Mhm.
We found one from 1899.
Are you kidding me?
It's a little bitty journal.
Wow.
It's about that big. Hand for reference, about that big. And there's only a few pictures in the back. So
Yeah.
there's the football team, the basketball team, and the cheerleaders,
Yeah.
and then a couple of the classes. Everything else is text. So it's like what went on in the social studies department all year, what went on in English. It's so cool to read through. I'll show you here after we're done.
Okay.
But it's really, really cool. We're going to go ahead and bring on our guest today. So our guest today, Trisha Marie Edwards. Hey, Trish.
Hey.
This is Trish. Trish and I
Hi,
worked
everybody.
together a million years ago and for a million years.
Long time.
Yeah. So her lower third says special needs coordinator / trader. And we'll get to that here in a little bit because I'm still bitter.
I'm back.
It was just 1 year, Craig.
It was 1 year too many, Stock. You can't let them slide. It's a slippery slope. So Trish is going to be on the podcast today. She's got a lot of cool insights that a lot of other people in the school don't have.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of stuff she sees that we'll never see, especially me stuck upstairs here in 204.
Yeah.
Stock, you're directly underneath me, so you hear my kids stomping a lot or
I
setting
see
up.
the wall vibrate a lot.
Do you? I always
do.
wondered.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure. The kids will stomp and they'll say, "Oh no, somebody's underneath us." Love it. But she's got some cool insights, and we're going to start talking to her here in a bit about those. But Trish is from Warren County, unfortunately.
Yes.
Yeah. And you have two kids that I've known since they were,
Well, Caleb.
oh my goodness, really, really tiny.
Yeah, Caleb was 8 months old when I started working here.
Oh, my
and
goodness.
you've known Ross since before he was born.
That's true. Oh my goodness. So they are, Caleb is
Caleb is a senior.
a
He's
senior. Oh my
17,
gosh. A senior, Stock.
Yeah.
I know.
And Ross is a freshman. He's 14.
Oh my goodness. Where'd the
Wow.
time go?
Mhm.
Really?
Big-
My
I saw
nephew-
Caleb at the football game the other day.
My
Yeah.
nephew's a freshman this year.
Really?
I mean,
Yeah, it just
he was
creeps up on
born
you.
and now he's a freshman.
Oh my goodness.
There's
I
no
got
in
myself-
between.
There's no in between.
You're just hatched an adult. I like that idea. So, what is it like with kids at a different school and scheduling and getting them places and all that? So, what's it like having kids? And they go to Seeger.
They go to Seeger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they go to Seeger. You work here at Covington. What's that like?
Right. So when a million years ago, when we first start thinking about me working here, would the kids come to school with me? Would I send them to Seeger? Obviously, we sent them to Seeger. The logistics of it was a little difficult when they were younger, but now that Caleb's a driver, game changer.
Oh,
That-
I can imagine,
that
right?
totally changed everything for us. But early on when they were young, it was nice because our schedules are so close together.
Yeah.
You know, Fountain Central, Seeger, a lot of the area schools try to keep it similar.
Yeah, very
so
similar
that-
schedules.
So that helped a lot. There's usually only a day or two where when they were small, I'd have to get a sitter or figure that out. But
That's kind of nice.
Yeah.
So, who did Caleb do his driver's ed through? We've talked about Corey Smalt's driver's ed program
I
here.
just say the only program, 10 and 2.
The only one that matters,
Yes, there are.
right? So he's a 10 and 2 grad.
Yeah, and Ross is going to be joining 10 and 2 this summer. He'll be 15.
That's terrifying.
Then you'll have two drivers.
2 drivers.
That is terrifying stuff. It doesn't seem like that long ago that I was down in that program.
Yeah.
For those of you that don't know, I used to work down in that program in Trish's room for how long was it, Trish? It was a long
I
time.
think we were together 8 years.
8 years.
Yeah.
She dealt with me for 8 years.
8 years.
I can say the same about him. He dealt with me.
Yeah, that's a long time ago.
So you cancel each other out. Is that right?
Exactly. We both survived this long. Something's got to gone right.
The Ron Swanson to my Leslie Nope.
Hey, there you go.
you
I
go.
like that.
That's
That's a good one.
perfect.
So Josh is doing well, I assume. Just heard from him.
Yeah. You're right.
Is he still with the state police?
He is. So he's not a road tripper anymore. He's a detective.
Oh, he's a big
wow.
shot.
Yeah.
Does he wear a suit and tie with
Suit
a
and
magnifying
tie.
glass and all of that?
Not that I'm going to have to get him a
Oh, yeah,
Magnifying
glass.
glass.
Look,
Obviously.
Christmas is coming up.
Yeah,
Hey,
there you go.
Oh,
Hey,
stop.
Josh, don't listen to that. You're not getting a magnifying
Yeah.
glass for
edit. Do we have an edit button?
But no, he's been a detective the last few years, and he's really enjoying that change of pace.
Yeah. So scheduling wise, how did that work out for you guys?
So he is 8 to 5, Monday through Friday, holidays off. And that's been the first time in 20 years that that's happened.
Oh, that's kind of crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
And when he goes to work, where is his office? Where's his primary desk?
So his primary desk is at the post in Lafayette,
Okay.
the Indiana State Police Post. But he can also work out of the Fountain County Jail, the Warren County Jail, wherever. He can be pretty mobile if he has to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
Okay.
he can do whatever he wants.
He
Doc.
can.
He's in charge now. He's the boss.
The only thing he can't do is control Trish.
Well,
full-time
nobody
job.
can. So earlier you talked about you guys made the decision to send your kids to Seeger.
Yeah.
Stock's really big on talking it over with your partner before you make big life decisions. So is that something you guys did, and how long did you talk about that?
Oh, 100%. Actually, Caleb missed kindergarten roundup and all that stuff.
Oh,
because-
wow. So it was last minute.
Yeah. Yeah. Josh was a proponent of going to Seeger. Of course,
Sure.
he's a Seeger grad.
He's a
that's-
Seeger guy.
that's
He's a
our area.
patriot.
Yeah, 100%. I kind of was leaning towards him coming to Covington with me. But yeah, that was a long discussion where we went back and forth weighing the pros and cons and finally came to an agreement.
So what was the big ultimate deciding factor? So it would have been easier for you to bring him here,
Yeah.
but they're involved in a bunch of stuff at Seeger as well. So
Yeah. And they had already started becoming involved in like local sports. They had made friends in the
Yeah.
area, our
Yeah.
neighbors. And so I felt like it was important for them to be around the people in our community.
yeah, that's pretty cool. So they remained Warren County people
They're Warren County through and through
for life now.
for life. I don't know. Caleb talks about maybe being a big city kid someday. We'll see.
Oh, wow. Is that terrifying for mom?
It is. Ross, he says he's staying in Warren County.
Okay. So
there-
as a senior, what are the post-school plans? Does he have something going on now?
Yeah. So right now, I think he's leaning towards Ball State.
Ooh,
Yes.
Stock. That's a
Yes.
big stock shout out right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah,
It's great.
That's
we
Funsy
did
guy.
a visit. It was.
Okay.
I was really impressed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stock,
does
do you
he
have
want
any
to do? Does he know?
advice or anything for Ball State?
Well, Ball State has one of the
You got to see it live, folks.
Ball State has one of the top 5 teaching colleges in the United States. It has an excellent nursing program, architectural program, business program. It has a combined, Craig, you would have loved it. It's English department, media department, and art department are all one building
Yeah.
so that they can all work together.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
It's very
amazing.
cool. Their facilities were amazing.
Yeah.
So Caleb's leaning towards astronomy and engineering.
Oh.
He's,
Oh, wow.
They have an amazing planetarium
yes,
over there.
we got to see.
Oh,
like,
awesome.
on our visit, they were so kind. The head of the astronomy department was talking with Caleb, and we said, "Oh, is the planetarium? We'd love to see it." And he said, "No, but I'll go open it up for you." So
Oh, wow.
he came and opened it up. There were 2 people on the visit, Caleb and another girl, and he opened it up just for us. It was
Yeah.
amazing. They
Stock,
were-
have you been to the planetarium?
Yes.
Is
Yes.
it awesome? Do they do like laser
Oh,
shows?
this is perfect for you too.
Oh no!
Yes.
I went there once. They had a special thing going on.
He takes them off again. I love it.
They had a special presentation going on. I went there with one of my buddies. I might get us canceled for this. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
It's going to be the quickest podcast we've ever had.
I knew I would ruin it.
No, we were there on like special ed night.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
It's the 2 of us and then all of these special ed students. So every time the stars changed, you heard these, whoa!
Oh, sounds like what I would have done. I do that at Turkey Run with their planetarium.
That's not acceptable for us.
Yeah, seriously. That's just the way I deal with everything.
Yeah. But this is going to be a good transition because when I went to school, and I don't know about you, where you went to school, special needs students were not integrated with the
Right.
general population.
Yeah. So even 20 years ago,
Yeah.
it was a different ballgame
Yeah.
in special ed. Yeah.
So that was a very different experience for me. When I came to Covington,
yeah, probably.
one of the biggest things that struck me was how inclusive Covington was, and its special
Yeah.
needs students were accepted and loved by the general population
Yeah.
students, and that's something that you've kept going.
I hope so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I hope so. Yeah.
Yeah. You got a fun group this year too.
Oh, they're a hoot.
They're a blast.
They are fun kids.
So what prompted the astronomy? Is that the major, I'm assuming?
Yeah, yeah. Well, he's going to double major astronomy and engineering.
Okay.
He does not want to go into space, although he's obsessed with it.
So is Caleb the new Elon Musk?
I think he'd be okay with
Could be.
it.
Right?
But right now he's talking about potentially building telescopes and
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah,
Yeah.
satellite type stuff. Yeah.
How cool is that?
That would be amazing.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Okay.
The next Hubble telescope
Yeah.
designed in Warren County.
Yeah, yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Great.
So you guys got a lot of stuff going on.
yeah, it's senior year. Like I said, Ross is now a freshman.
Oh,
so
my goodness.
and he's involved in just as many things as Caleb. So
Yeah.
he's more my farm kid.
Okay.
He loves anything farming, outdoor, hunting, fishing, that kind of stuff. So he keeps us busy on that end of the deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Bow
wow.
hunting or rifle hunting?
Anything.
Anything
now-
that gets him in the woods.
Yeah, anything that gets him outside. He right now has been bow hunting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We went to the range the other day, Stock. Always a fun time. You're always welcome to go. But you're a bow guy. You want to do a bow.
I would love to have a crossbow.
Okay. He has one of those.
I just think they're cool.
Yeah.
How does everything you say today sound like you're playing Clue? It was a crossbow in the planetarium. Oh, I love it, Stock. Oh my goodness. So Trish, we're moving on to rants. You're more than welcome to jump in on a rant
Okay.
if you'd like, but Stock's our resident rant master.
Because I'm the grumpy old man.
Well, that's what your lower third said earlier, but I'm going to change that to rant one. And
Okay.
I think there's only one you said,
I've only got one today.
unless you think of another one during your first rant.
That could be.
All right, here you go, buddy.
Okay. A couple weeks ago, I
Took his headphones off. That's rant number two,
Rant
right
number
there.
2. A couple weeks ago, I found a new YouTube channel, which is an Italian cooking channel. It's called Sip and Feast. Everyone, go check it out. It's really good. The guy, I think you guys would like it. He's from New York, New Jersey, somewhere around there. So he has that Italian accent. But he gets his son to test all of his food. But his son's a teenager. And so everything's like, yeah, it's fine. It's okay.
Meh.
It's the greatest thing. It's the greatest thing. But I made one of his soups. It's like an Italian ham and bean. It's got white beans and I put bacon in it. And here's the rant. I had to put bacon in it. It needs to use prosciutto. I could not find prosciutto
It's really
anywhere
hard, yeah.
in Danville.
No, you got to go to like Fresh Time for something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
I mean, Danville, get some prosciutto. I'm shaking my fist.
Yeah,
Where's my
Danville,
camera?
pick it up.
Yeah.
Has he done Italian wedding soup yet? That's my
Yes.
favorite soup of all time.
Yes. Yes. He did.
And have you
I
made
didn't
it for
try.
me?
I didn't see it. I haven't
Weird.
watched that one yet.
Funny how that works, everybody. So that's my rant. Stock hasn't made me soup.
I'm going to jump in on that.
Yeah.
If I haven't got any soup from
Yeah.
Stock
Are
either.
you an Italian wedding soup fan? Have you ever had it?
I don't think I've ever had it.
It's my favorite soup of all time. It's so good.
Okay.
So keep that in mind.
Okay.
I'll be
watch
expecting it. Yeah.
Wait, I need
So,
to write myself.
so
a
I'm
note.
here for esports tomorrow night and Wednesday night. I can't get out and eat, so sounds really good. So that's called Sip and Feast. Go check him out.
Yep.
Sounds awesome. Is there a reason he does Italian food? Is he an Italian? You
Yeah,
said
he's
it's in
Italian.
New York, though.
He learned cooking from his grandmother.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So very cool. Trish, do you have any rants that you want to get off your chest?
I'm going to rant about time change.
Oh, yes.
here it is.
Yes.
And for those of you that don't know, it did change time Sunday night.
Whatever you say, I agree.
Thank you, Doc. I think we could be best friends because I
We
agree
could.
with a few things that you've said on this podcast.
Right.
No, I remember when we didn't change times and I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
even though we got an extra hour of sleep this weekend, I'm ready for bed at 6:30 now.
Mhm.
You know?
And you know that in 6 months, you have to give that hour right back.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
shout out to, I think it was Amber Thompson, Amber Lydic Thompson, who
Okay.
had a meme on her Facebook that said, I like daylight savings time because I can watch the sunset as I'm eating lunch.
And it's even worse when you go over to Danville
Yeah.
and it's, you know,
It's an hour
4:30
earlier.
and
I think you could have stopped after Danville on that. It's even worse when you go to Danville. But yeah, no, it is dark all the time now. And the
Yeah.
later we get in the year, it's going to get worse, right?
I just want snow. I love snow.
Oh gosh, Doc, it's too early for snow.
No, I love snow.
Hey, I've got to deal with Christmas decorations in Sam's Club for the last 3 weeks. So I don't need snow to go with that.
Well, that's your
right
fault.
next to the
That is
Halloween
your
aisle.
That's fine. Yeah, right next to the Halloween. You see the Jack Skellington, right? It fades from one to the other. Oh my goodness.
Have you driven down Vermilion in Danville?
Have I?
Yeah. Recently?
Yeah.
Have you seen the house with the big skeletons in the front yard?
Oh yeah.
I like that house.
It's pretty cool. It's a lot of effort.
It is.
You know, like I see the Christmas decorations and that's really cool and everything, but it's every holiday now.
Yeah.
There's those giant inflatable blower things
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's a lot of effort. That's a lot of money. That's beyond me. I mean, you're lucky if I pick up my trash and put it out to the curb. Not a rant, but we got some cool news. We did get our pins in. Stock has been petitioning for pins, both PENS and PINS.
Yep. And we've got the PINS.
We got the PINS in, and we're going to use these for commenters, subscribers, anybody that throws something to our email, and we use that. Let me turn that on real quick. It's only 10 seconds. Bagmen at chs247.com. There's what the pins look like. So if you want a pin, send something to bagmen at chs247.com. We've got potentially a big episode coming up with Mr. Scott.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
So we're looking at about once a month or whenever we get enough questions. He's going to be on for like a mail call section,
Okay.
comment bag, or whatever we want to call it. And he's going to be answering the
Mailbag.
big questions.
It's the mailbag.
The mailbag. Because we're
Pony
bagmen.
Express.
The Pony Express. I like it. So not going to be a really long episode or anything like that. Just kind of hitting the big points that are going on here at CHS. We've got a couple questions already in. If you're worried about anonymity, it goes to a email address that is not associated with the school. It's at chs247.com. That goes directly to myself or Stock. We'll filter through them and then send them to Mr. Scott. And then we'll bring him on and he'll answer all the questions, hopefully, that we send him.
Yep.
Could be cool.
Could be.
Could be a really cool. So Trish, send your questions in.
All right.
And if you're worried about Craig and me
Yeah.
not being discreet, I can't even spell my own name, and Craig's
I'm
too
way
busy.
worse than that.
Craig's too busy to
Yeah.
let anything slip.
Yeah. So you'll be good. I would suggest send it from your personal email account. And then if you're worried about anonymity, send it to you from your personal account to me and Stock Bagman at chs247.com. We'll throw it up again in the lower third here later in the show.
Yep.
So that takes us out of the rant section. Unless Trish, last chance for a rant.
That was my only rant today.
Okay.
All right. She's easy to please, I guess. So that takes us to special needs. Trish is kind of the head of the special needs program here at Covington High School and middle school, right? You and Megan work together hand in hand.
Megan Allen and I are your life skills teachers
Yeah.
here at Covington. Yeah.
Yep. And then Patty's upstairs with resource room stuff.
Mhm.
So we're covered pretty well throughout the school
Yep.
when it comes to getting kids resources they may need. So Trish, what does your job entail? So
Oh,
what
wow.
do you guys do?
So, as the life skills teacher here at Covington, I service students with moderate to severe disabilities. And we just teach the kids academics and also life skills, like it's in the title. So,
Yeah.
we're trying to teach the kids to be as independent as possible and as prepared as possible for adult life.
And the kids just from Covington?
No,
Yeah.
so we're a cooperative school, so we service kids in the life skills program from Covington, Seeger, Attica, and Fountain Central.
All right. So the Bi-County area.
Great. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So you get kids from different walks of life. You get
Yeah.
to see a little bit of everything.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
that's pretty cool.
And you get a lot of different levels of needs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody has varying abilities. Yeah. And different ages. So Megan and I both service middle school and high school.
Yeah.
So how does that work? How do you split responsibilities between, you guys have a couple aides or paras, whatever, I don't know what you call them down there now.
We each have 2 aides or paraprofessionals, that help out in our classroom. And we have a job coach that goes out onto job sites with the kids to do some vocational training.
Oh, and where are you guys vocational training?
So right now we have a few sites. So the Beef House has been a great supporter of our program for what?
Oh, it's been a long
Yeah.
time. That's a
17,
staple of that
yeah,
program. Yeah, they're
for sure.
huge,
They're good
huge
people.
help.
Yeah, they've been wonderful to us. The gas stations here in town have been very great to us.
Oh, cool.
The Marathon, the Trojan Mart, they go there. And then we just picked up the new restaurant's name. It slipped my mind.
Oh, the local?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
so we
very
picked that
cool.
up this
Okay.
year.
Oh, that's brand new.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I
we
haven't
go
eaten
out-
there yet.
Yeah. And then we go out to Fountain
Neither have I.
Springs.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wonderful.
Hey, Fountain Springs is gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really is. It's really nice out
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. So we got a lot of different tasks and job skills that the kids are learning out there.
Sure. And I think just not for your program, but just in general, I think Stock, you'll agree with this, that life skills is a huge part of the curriculum here at
Definitely.
Covington.
Yeah.
And beyond math, science, English, that kind of stuff, we're teaching kids real world application. We're
Yeah.
teaching kids real world skills, or we hope we are.
We hope so.
We hope so.
Whether it's you teach
Yeah.
kids to tie their shoes, we teach kids to manage their emotions.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, and you do that too,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's a huge part.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Very cool. So, any shout outs you want to give for the department down there?
Oh, I want to shout out to the entire department. We've got, of course, Megan Allen, my co-teacher. She's fabulous.
Megan, also on the branding committee. That's a
Yes.
s to Megan. She'll know what that means.
I've got Louise Myers and Kelly Taylor in my room.
And they've been there a long time, haven't they?
a long time. Yeah. Most of our staff has been with us at least 5 years. I think that's the probably shortest amount of time. And then in Megan's room, we have Amy Clem and Becky Lewis. And we have Jody Brown doing our vocational training as a job coach out in the community. And Shane Orlita has helped out with that
Yeah,
this year.
that's great.
Yeah. So
Very cool.
Yeah.
fabulous staff.
And I think this is kind of a testament to how you guys run the program down there. The burnout rate of that kind of program is lesser than it would be like a teacher up here in the
So when
upstairs.
I came out of college, they said burnout rate for special ed was 3 months to 3 years.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
Yeah.
And you've got people who've been there 5 years. You've been there longer than 5. Well, do we count her hiatus?
Oh,
Stock?
segue. Really
Yeah.
segue there.
Yeah. So still kind of mad about this, actually.
Hey,
But
17
Trish
years-
left us just hanging. So do you want to go into that story, Trish?
Well, yes.
Okay.
So
Justify yourself.
the year of COVID was a crazy year, and
That's
I
true.
did take a year hiatus from Covington sabbatical. I don't know what you want to call it.
What would you call that? Vacation?
And I did work
called
at
it
another
this.
school for a year.
So that's a traitor.
So,
Oh,
traitor.
you too, huh?
Well, if you were just sitting around, raising your kids, that would be a hiatus.
I learned a lot. I was grateful for the experience, but I'm glad to be back because this is just home.
Yeah.
So a similar position, a different
Yes,
position?
it was only middle school though. It was not middle school.
Oh,
and high school.
okay.
Mhm. Yeah.
And do you enjoy the high school kids more or same?
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
We're working on very similar things.
Okay.
The class I took over for the year I was gone had students with very significant needs, and they were very medically involved, and
Okay.
so it was a different atmosphere than
Sure.
what I've done here at Covington. It was nice. It was a good challenge, and like I said, I did learn a lot about teaching and myself.
Yeah. And I don't think people coming into the teaching field appreciate or even acknowledge how much time and effort goes into a program like that, especially when you have profound medical needs, just how much time that takes away from the classroom and learning life skills and job skills and sight words, anything like that. It's just something else you have to deal with. But it's a quality of life thing, and it's awesome for the kids to be in a program where they're cared for, and that's pretty cool. So the same, I would say the same ideas are going into this that are going into Stock and Ice classrooms as well. You want to make sure that the kids are cared for. You want to make sure they're learning something, and then we're setting them on the right path for after school.
Yeah. It might look a little different in my room, but 100% it's the same. It's the same thing.
Very cool.
We're all a team.
Yeah.
That's true. That is true. So that brings me to this point, Trish. I'm going to call you after your trader. How many times have you been up in this room?
A couple.
That weren't for training.
A couple.
You actually have been up here a few times. I just wanted to throw you under the bus.
I don't make it up here as much as I'd like to. I don't know that I make it to other wings of the building as much as
absolutely. No, I mean, with our schedules, the way the schedules work and everything, I don't make it down to that room as much. So, you know,
I guess I
it's just kind of,
around on you.
You could have, but I'll do it on myself. I'm that kind of guy.
Do you think your kids could do any sort of technology video program?
Yeah, my kids are great at technology. And Craig, when he was down in my room, it was wonderful having him because he'd always say, "Hey, how about this? How about that?"
It's her room, down in her.
Oh, it's always her room. Hey.
But yeah, so he would always come up with these great ideas, you know, for making visuals. He'd say, "Hey, we could use this," or a lot of the technology that I use, I heard first from Craig, and so
and that's one of the cool things about Covington and the program is, if you really need something, you'll get it, right? Mr. Carfault we had on last week. He's really good at getting technology in people's hands, especially educators, and the school's really good at supporting that program. And kind of any program, actually.
Definitely. And I'd say my technology use obviously probably looks pretty different than yours, but a lot of my kids access technology to communicate. That's a huge one.
Yeah, that's a big one.
A lot of AAC, and you know, using tablets with voice commands and stuff. So I use a lot of technology to make visuals or to adapt my reading for the kids, so they have picture symbols and can read along with that.
Do you guys still do News to You?
We do. We love News to You.
Is it different or is it the same?
No, it's the same. They've added some things. We've got like breaking news, current event type stuff's going on now. They have different holidays where they go into in depth about the holidays.
That's pretty cool. And if you guys have never heard of that before, News to You is like a newspaper publication. I think it's weekly, correct?
Yeah, weekly.
Weekly, and they have different levels of the newspaper, and it's not just for like a special needs department or anything like that. You can adapt it to, you know, beginning readers, intermediate readers. It's pretty cool. So if you've never heard of that resource, it's something to look into. It's really cool. Stock, you moved your hand. I think you want to say something.
Well, I was going to ask, is that like Channel 1 for the special needs?
Do you know Channel 1, Trish?
I'm not super familiar with Channel 1. Kind of. So it's Channel 1's like a video, right? So this is
similar.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's actually a print publication, and so it pairs it up. It differentiates it. So there's some levels where it's just the words and you're reading it like a typical newspaper would read. Some of the lower levels will accompany it with picture symbols, so the kids can kind of read by the picture symbols if they can't identify the words.
Yeah. Neat.
It's pretty neat. Yeah, it actually is pretty cool. So if you haven't checked it out, it's News to You. And I think that's a subscription-based service.
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember how much that is? In case somebody wants to look up.
And do they have it in French?
Oh, that's a good question.
Actually, that's not a bad idea. We're going to have you on video looking this up live.
Oh, I just got an email too.
It's probably a text from Zach because he does that kind of thing. Before we get into the speed round, I did want to give Stock's other podcast a shout out. So bring it up on screen. The History Buffet.
Yes.
That's with former guest and trader, along with Trish.
Yes.
Joey Holt.
I'm in good company.
You're in good
Yeah,
company.
very good company.
You guys recently reached a milestone. Is that true? You had so many episodes. You have
I
a
don't
billion. You have a billion episodes.
I don't know. We have about 40, I think.
Have you recorded anything lately?
We're going to have a special.
There they go. Shed them.
We were going to have a special Halloween episode, but
Ooh.
the day when we recorded the bagmen,
Oh,
we
yeah.
had plans that afternoon, but
Yeah.
that went too long, so we just had
Oh,
lunch.
dude, cut us off.
No,
whenever.
no, it was great. We just went and had lunch, and then he had to leave because that night his team, the Traitors Point, they were
That's
playing.
so good.
They were playing football, so he had to get back for that.
Yeah.
But then we were going to record last Thursday. No, 2 Thursdays ago. But he fell asleep watching It's a Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown with his son.
Oh,
Hey, what a way to fall asleep, though.
So what a way to fall
With
asleep.
Cal. Oh, I love it. So shout out to the History Buffet podcast. It's a great podcast. It's
It
a great
is.
listen. So it's a fun time. If you
And
get a
we
chance,
have-
go check it out.
we
After
have
you watch all
holidays-
of ours.
Yeah, we have holiday stickers.
What is he, your father?
I don't know.
I love it.
We have holiday stickers. We did have summer stickers that we never got printed. So for this Christmas season, we're going to have Christmas stickers and summer stickers together.
oh, cool.
So
And
it's a
they're
nice
all-
Christmas present for somebody.
Yeah. So they're all designed by me, and there you go. Enjoy them.
Hey, and if you guys didn't know, Stock's very artistic. He does a lot of their illustrations for the History Buffet podcast. He used to be really big into Inktober.
Yeah, I didn't do it this year.
Yeah, I
No.
know you talked about
Yeah,
it.
that
You
was
just
a-
didn't decide to do it.
That was a conscious choice of. I didn't feel like I needed to do it.
Mhm.
You know, sometimes you
Yeah.
feel like I have
Oh,
to
absolutely.
do this, but this year I felt like I'm good. I'm good. Right now, this is NaNoWriMo, National Novel Writing Month. I've done that 4 times. I've won it twice. And when you win it, that just means you wrote 50,000 words. I'm not doing it this year, and that's okay.
Did you say 50,000 words?
Yeah,
That's the limit, or that's
that's the minimum.
plateau?
That's
That's
the
the
minimum.
minimum?
Yeah.
I don't even know 50,000 words.
Do you know where they got that number?
God, why?
Okay, here's a little inside information. When they started the program, they looked at classic American books like Of Mice and Men,
Mhm.
On the Road by Kerouac, and those are smaller books. And they
Yeah.
averaged them, and they all averaged to around 50,000 words. So you
Oh,
can
wow.
tell a good, powerful story in just 50,000 words
I'm going to tend to the rabbits, George.
versus, War and Peace, which is like 1,200 pages.
Yeah, that's a monumental
Yeah,
task to get through that.
Definitely.
I only know War and Peace from that one Disney TV show, that made-for-TV movie. What was that? Where they're superheroes in high school. The bad boy was War and Peace. That was his name. I'll get it to you later. It'll be in the description. All right.
Wasn't
we're,
it called
we're to
Hero
everybody's
High?
favorite. What's that?
Was it called Hero High? Did
Something
Linda,
like, you know what I'm talking about,
did
right?
Linda Carter play the principal?
Yes.
And one of her lines was, "I'm not Wonder Woman, you know."
Well, Farva from Super Troopers was the bus driver.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, that's the only way I would have known. I'll figure it out.
Okay.
High School High? No, that's not it. I don't know. That's with John Lovitz. Who knows? All right. We are to everybody's favorite round, the
But
speed round.
No, I've got 2
Oh,
hard-hitting
Stock's got stuff.
questions.
Oh, too hard.
Hard-hitting
hard-hitting
questions. Jeez.
Okay. Trish, you have I would consider it a very difficult job because you have so many levels and so many individual needs for the students.
Hmm.
You've raised 2 boys and your husband's a police officer. How do you balance all of that?
I don't know if I do. I don't know. I don't know if I'm great. I'm good at each of those things. I may not be great at any of one of those things, right? Because they each demand so much of my time. So I just try my best, and sometimes my job takes more time and my family is compassionate to me, and sometimes my family takes more time. And Covington's always been a place where they've supported people, and our families really do come first, I
Yeah.
feel like
Yeah.
here. And it's always been understanding. And, there was been a time when Josh was in the hospital for a long period of time early
We're not
on.
going back.
Remember?
That was not a fun time.
That was not a fun time, but
No, that was awful for everybody. Yeah.
But I never felt like the demand that I had to be here. Like everybody was supportive and let me be with my family, and I think that's one of the reasons that I can do it. So
she's a Renaissance woman, Stock.
She is.
She's good at a lot of stuff.
Oh, you are Wonder Woman.
Whoa, I like that.
You're coming to school with a tiara tomorrow.
You know, those bangles on my wrist.
That reminds me of a quote that I tell my kids a lot when it comes to like video production or even like programming. Done is better than perfect.
Yes.
Yeah.
So like if you can keep a lot of plates spinning and still be okay at it,
Yeah.
You haven't broken plates.
Yeah. And I've gotten better at saying no. No, I'm not great at it, but you don't want your plate so full that things are falling off of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, teach me how to say no. I need to learn that.
That's the 15 hats you're wearing, Stock.
Yes. Okay, hard-hitting question number 2.
Oh man.
Who's making Thanksgiving?
Ooh.
My mother-in-law on Josh's side, and then my mom on my side.
Okay.
So I got out of that.
When does the baton get passed?
Probably never. They've had my cooking.
Oh, that's perfect.
See, Stock, I can't do it all.
Okay.
That's perfect. That's where she draws the lines.
That's it.
Oh, that's great. Stock, are you doing Thanksgiving? Are you cooking a turkey or anything?
I've heard some of my friends, they say that they have to make something to take to their parents for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
All my parents have ever expected or wanted is for me to come home.
Yeah.
Mom will take care of everything else. They just want me there.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So maybe this year, Italian turkey.
Ooh.
If you're on Sip and Feast.
Oh, well, I'll need to look to see if he has a Thanksgiving.
Oh, that would be
menu.
cool. That'd be really neat,
Yeah,
actually.
that will be. Okay.
Interesting.
I've got my homework tonight.
All right. Any more hard-hitting questions, Stock?
Stock, those were good questions. That
Yeah,
first one
hey.
put me on the spot.
Hey, I'm
Okay.
proud of you. That was
Turkey
awesome.
or ham?
Turkey or ham?
Ooh.
Ham.
Ham.
Unpopular opinion.
Well, ham
probably.
doesn't put you to sleep.
Yeah, that's true.
Favorite side?
Green bean casserole.
Yeah, girl.
Okay. Pumpkin pie?
Yeah, but I'd rather have a pumpkin roll.
Oh, well, that's
Okay.
fair. That's fair.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll accept that.
Okay.
That's about the only pumpkin thing I'll eat. Everything else is disgusting. Yeah, you got to go with ham on that, Stock.
Are you
See,
turkey or
Are you a
ham?
turkey guy?
We used to flip. If we had turkey at Thanksgiving, we had ham at Christmas, and
yeah.
then
Yeah.
the other way
Okay.
around. Since my brother got married, his wife always cooks Christmas, and she always cooks a ham, so now we always have a turkey at Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Neat. That's kind of neat how that works out.
How's it work at the Sowers house?
I just show up wherever there's food, and I eat as much as I can until I pass out. That's how it works most of the time.
Perfect.
Recently, we've been at Ryan's house,
Yeah.
and you've been there as well sometimes, Stock. Just because he has more room, and we can let all the kids run in the same fenced area and keep an eye on everybody at the same time. But yeah, with Grandma passing, I'm not really sure how that's going to work this year,
Yeah.
but we'll see. We'll get something going.
Yeah.
So there's always a relative that'll host, as long as you bring the food. But I'm like one of the cartoons. I float through the air,
Yeah.
following the smell until I end up at the place with the food.
Question, Craig.
Yes.
When my grandmother passed away,
Mhm.
Mom became the oldest lady in the family. So she's
Oh,
now the
yeah.
matriarch of the family.
Mhm.
Who's the oldest in your family now?
That would be my great aunt Carolyn.
Okay.
She kind of is running things now.
Okay.
But yeah, that was a big loss because we did everything in
Yeah.
Wallace.
Yeah.
Shout out to Wallace.
Yeah.
Are you ready for the questions, Trish? I know you've prepped for these.
I might have studied a little bit.
Yeah, she's a cheater, a traitor and a cheater. You heard it here first. All right, so she already knows her answers. We'll get to it. How did you get to CHS? And this is one of my favorite questions. This has become one of my favorite questions because
Okay.
it's nice hearing everybody's story.
You know what my favorite question is.
I know. I know your favorite question.
We'll get there.
We'll get
Okay,
to
we'll
it.
get there. We'll get there.
So, what's your story? How'd you get here?
So I got married and I graduated college. I needed a job, and I put in applications all around the area because I knew once we got married, I'd be moving down here. And I didn't hear back from anyone. So I was working in Lafayette when Josh and I were first married. I got pregnant with Caleb and took a year off. And out of the blue, Kirk Boo gives me a call.
OKB.
And, yeah. So I had put in my application resume 2 or 3 years prior, and they were adding to the life skills program. They were adding a high school teacher. And so he gave me a call. And I think I came in for an interview one afternoon, and he was tied up doing something else. So I sat out in the office talking to Judy and Jeannie, and I'm like, oh, I hope I get this job. Everybody's so sweet here.
You had a good first experience.
Yeah, they made me feel so welcome. And so I went in and interviewed with Kirk, and I think by the end of that day, I had a phone call and offering me the job. So it worked out great.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And then you returned after you were a trader.
I did.
It was just 1 year.
It was a blip.
It was still a year stuff.
It was 2020. No one even noticed.
Yeah.
That's fair.
was
We were
half a
virtual
year.
anyway.
It was half a year.
A year. Oh my goodness. Let's never go back to that. All right. So I love that question. I like hearing people's stories.
Yeah.
What is Trojan pride to you?
I think this is one of your hardest questions.
I think this and the song.
Yeah. How do you put into words a feeling?
Yeah.
Right? Because it's a feeling here. I think with the kids and with the staff. So I would go, the first thing you think of is the crazy section and the sports and the school pride. But for me, I think it's like Stock said, that the love and the care that's put into the atmosphere here. The kids, especially me and my role, how I see it is my students. This place is special because my students are so accepted. They're such an integrated part of the school. And that was something that never had to be coached or taught, that the kids just have always been inclusive. And so I think it's a feeling. It's a homey feeling. Like I said, when I left and came back, it felt like coming home. And it's just something you can't really put into words unless you're here and you feel it. So
right.
I think it's just a sense of pride that the community puts into the school, and then each person that's part of the school.
Sure. I'll set up a scenario for you. Covington and Seeger are playing. Who do you cheer for?
This is like my kids have told me. I wear a Covington shirt almost every day at work, and my kids have told me, like, you cannot come to the game wearing the Covington shirt.
Change. They make you change. I love it.
Well, I think it also depends. Where's the game being played?
Where's the game being played?
That's a big one too.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Seeger side typically, but I always kind of meander over to the Covington side and talk for a while.
Yeah. And you did wander over and talk to us at the Kiss Country 103.1 booth. So it was always a good time. All right. So there's Trojan Pride. What song describes you?
Oh.
Shout out to Emmy for that question.
I think that's a hard one. That's a good question.
It's a difficult one.
I'd say right now, it's probably different songs in my life, but I think right now probably something like I don't know, You're Gonna Miss This, Trace Atkins.
Ooh.
Or
it would be a sad, slow, sappy country song with Caleb graduating.
Yeah. Or like Keep Me in the Moment by Jeremy Camp, something like that.
Okay.
These all sound like country music to me.
Jeremy Camp's a Christian artist.
Oh, okay.
Are you into Mercy Me as well still?
I do like Mercy Me.
Yeah, I remember that.
Do you know I saw them in concert?
Did
you saw Mercy Me in concert?
Yeah.
Where?
Up in Lafayette.
I bet it was a good concert.
On the Purdue.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed listening to them as well.
I don't know. I'm just in the feels right now because, I got 2 kids in high school.
Oh, yeah.
And, you were just kind of mentioning Grandma's Sours and people, we're getting older.
Oh, she was a part of the program for a while as well. Yeah,
yeah.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah. So just kind of enjoying and being content in my moment and not looking too far in the past or future.
Are you going to cry during graduation?
Oh, like a baby.
Yeah. It's hard not to. You get emotional. You see these
Yeah.
kids from diapers to graduation caps.
I tell you what, I'm gonna give your students a shout out every year at Covington's graduation. Even I don't know the students. That video they put together
the
with
slideshow.
the baby pictures, they do such a nice job on that. I cry like a baby.
We've
every
had some
time.
great kids in the program. Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to the kids. And shout out to longtime support of the Woodrows, the Woodrow family.
Yes, definitely.
Anyong to Katie and hey to the Woodrows. We missed you today, Wyatt.
He was here for my class.
What? He was yours?
He was here for me.
What a jerk. I take that back. All right. Stock's favorite question. He's been excited about this for a week.
Here we go.
Sock, sock, shoe, shoe, or sock, shoe, sock, shoe?
I've got to admit, I am team Stock all the way on this question.
Yes.
So for me, it's sock, sock, pants, shoe, shoe.
There you go.
Oh, so it aligns 100%.
Definitive proof.
He is right on the money.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, listen, if you put your pants on first, you have 2 extra steps because you have to like shimmy up your pant leg, pull your
Well, I'm
socks.
sitting down. I don't take any steps.
She's right, though.
Yeah, it's just
Oh my gosh.
you streamline it doing it stock ways.
Well, we talked about astronomy, and your stars have aligned. you have the same answer. Don't encourage him.
Hey, I'm team Stock on this.
Stock,
when
how
you're
happy
right,
are you
you're
right
right.
now?
When you're right, you're right.
You're so happy right now, aren't you? Oh my gosh.
Stock's got it figured out.
You
I
guys,
see a pumpkin roll coming your way.
hey, I did catch myself. I told you that I do one sock, one shoe,
Yeah.
and then I'll sit there forever.
Yeah.
I caught myself during Law and Order SVU. 3 episodes. I sat there with one foot naked and the other foot clothed. You never know when you need to go somewhere and
You
just
never
throw that
know.
shoe on. I'm happy for you guys. I really am. Oh, good Lord. All right. This is a big one too. This is talk about hate in the fields. What would you like your legacy here at Covington High School, Covington Middle School to be?
Yeah, I guess the same thing I've heard a lot of other people say, just that I loved my students well and I cared for them well and their families too, right?
Yeah.
'Cause in my job, I'm
Oh, that's
involved
huge.
quite a bit with the families too. So, yeah, just that I've loved the students well, and that I've made them as independent as possible, that I've helped their quality of life, by helping them to become more independent.
And that's a cool point with your program is you can see like immediate results.
Yeah.
So like you can see if a kid gets a job and they're succeeding in their environment, in their neighborhoods and all that kind of stuff, you know you've made an impact.
Yeah.
We have to wait and hope and wait sometimes to see if we've, anything sunk in. But you get to see that immediately, which is really, really cool, I think.
Yeah, and in the small victories are big victories for us. It might seem very small to someone else, but it might change my student's life by just being able to, like you said, go get a job. They're so excited to be able to do what everybody else takes for granted sometimes.
Oh, that's huge, especially in modern society. Nobody wants to go get a job.
Yeah.
So if you're teaching independence, that's great.
I'm wondering, and Trish, you may have just given me a light bulb.
Oh boy.
What if general education teachers praise the little things for their students?
Yeah.
Ooh,
What would that do for our kids?
Honestly, Stock, I think that's what brought a lot of perspective to me.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I was with Trish forever, and my brother was with Trish forever, and we've kind of been a big part of that program for a long time, or big proponents of it. I don't want to say I've been a big part of it, because that's Trish's deal. But if you've been down there, you gain so much insight and perspective, not just school stuff or small victories. Small victories are very important, but the idea that there's a lot of stuff going on outside of the educational environment that these kids are dealing with. And I heard this quote, what was it, a couple weeks ago, you don't know what kids are dealing with outside of your atmosphere. So like they come into school, they put on a front potentially, and they get by, they get along, but there's always stuff at home.
Right.
Yeah.
There's always other struggles, other battles that these kids are dealing with. And I hope that that's one of the things that I can bring here perspective-wise from working down with Trish and bringing that upstairs here to business technology. Like I said, you don't know if your impact is actually impacting until years and years down the road.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, and sometimes
let's hope.
you get the the hard attitudes or the hard behaviors because you're the safe place that someone feels comfortable, being that vulnerable with.
Yeah.
And so yeah.
And
So
sometimes
just kinda
because they
change
know you
that
can,
perspective-
they know you can deal with it.
Yeah, yeah,
Like, because I can take it.
yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting.
Yeah.
That's something I hope we all keep in mind.
Yeah.
Stock, anything before we sign off that you want to hit on? Okay, Trish?
No, I just again want to reiterate just how special of a place this is. I have worked other places. As a student, the special ed department here is special. It is really special.
Oh, absolutely.
Wonderful teachers and staff, and I would say the school in general. The students, other staff members. It's made it easy to do my job, and I think it's really improved the quality of life of my students. They look forward to coming here every day, and I don't know how many times I hear, my student doesn't like breaks, or they just want to be at school.
Yeah.
And so, and that's just a testament to everyone here at Covington that makes it such a special place.
That's something that Stock and I seldom hear.
Yes.
I wish break was 3 weeks longer.
That's something I seldom say. When's the next break?
Thanksgiving, you've already talked about food. Now I'm hungry.
Yeah, here we go.
All right. You anything you want to say before we sign off, Stock? I want to hit something else. But...
Trish, I've said this to you before, maybe years ago. I think you're a great person and you do a great job.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm
Shout out
really
to the whole
glad to know
fam.
you.
I got to see the kids grow up.
Yes, you did.
And I've known Josh for a while as well.
I like to lovingly say that you
yeah.
and Ryan are the brothers I never wanted.
Exactly.
Nobody
Exactly.
wants them.
She got to push us out of the room, but not out of the building. So it's nice to still be around, and I'll try to make an effort to get down there more. But
Yeah.
we all get busy, Trish, anything you want to say before we sign off? Before I do my little like, comment, subscribe spiel?
Nope, I think I'm good.
It wasn't as bad as you thought.
Oh, I was so nervous.
You did great.
Would you encourage others to come to this?
Yeah, hey, it was
Oh,
painless.
absolutely.
Come on over and talk with Craig and Stock. It's just like hanging out.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey,
Just
that's
like hanging
glowing endorsement. That's going to get clipped. That's going on the TVs on repeat.
I didn't
I
even
love
get paid.
And here's your keychain. Speaking of merch, guys, I want to hit this before we head out. We've got pins available. Stock's going to hold up a pin. There we go. So those are going to be, if you send us an email, we use your stuff on the broadcast, chance you could win a pin. Stock's a big proponent of the pins. So cool.
Here's what they look like on.
Oh, should we wear them like the presidents?
Yes.
Like on a tie or a lapel? We totally should.
We'll talk.
Well, that's a no.
I think you especially should do it on podcast days.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
exactly.
definitely.
I'm not wearing a tie. All right. I'll hit this lower third. This is our email address. If you guys want to hit us, this isn't just for the Mr. Scott questions, but for anything you want to get at us with, bagmen@chs247.com. Hit us up anytime. It'll come straight to my phone. Stock has a login as well. So hit us up. You've got a login.
Do I?
Yeah.
Did you tell me?
I thought I did.
I don't know what
Stock,
it is.
I'm old. I saw a kid
I'm
grow
older.
from diapers to a senior, apparently, in the blink of an eye. Good Lord.
So
I'm super old. You guys can't see the gray in my beard. I'm hiding it with a microphone. All right. Until next time, we're going to sign off. Thanks for joining us. Like, comment, subscribe. Send us an email. Good hanging out with you, Trish. Good
Yeah,
seeing
you
you. All right. Later on, everybody.
Bye.